there, this is Anders Engberg of the Swedish epic doom metal band SORCERER, and you're listening to Bloodshed with the Vampire Metal Messiah Radio International.
Anders, thank you very much for taking time out for this interview, and I want to welcome you back to the Metal Bloodshed with the Vampire Metal Messiah Radio International.
Thank you very much. Good to be back. I miss you, man.
Yes, it's been a while. For the new fans and those that did not heard the interview we've done in 2015, SORCERER was formed in Stockholm, Sweden in 1988 by Johnny Hagel Bassist, ex-Tiamat, Tommy Karlsson, drummer, and Pete Furulid, guitarist. The singer Anders Engberg, ex-Lionshire, exTherion, ex-2020 Volt, joined them as the frontman, and together with the second guitarist Mats Liedholm in 1989. After disbanded in 1995 with the departure of Johnny Hagel to join Tiamat, in 2010 the band reunited for the Hammer of Doom Festival in Germany, and in 2011 the band played another successful gig at the Up the Hammers festivals in Athens, Greece. After that gig, the band decided to write new songs for new albums to be released. Anders, I can't believe it's exactly 5 years ago when we met. Yes, for the very first time for the interview we have done back then for the album In the Shadows of the Inverted Cross that you guys released on March 24, 2015 via Metal Blade Record. I mean, it has been so long. Please tell us, how are things doing with you? How are things doing with the band? And could you please present us the band's current lineup?
Okay, yeah, there's a lot of questions at one time, but essentially SORCERER is alive and kicking. We're very, very happy with this third album coming out, Lamenting of the Innocent, and we've been working hard to really push ourselves in each and every song, so that feels really good. And we are in kind of a momentum, though we are thrown back by, coronavirus, of course, as everyone else. We have a release date on the 29th of May of the new album. Of course, we are concerned about that, but otherwise, we're very happy. And the current lineup is me, myself, Anders Engberg on vocals, of course, Peter Hallgren on lead guitar, Kristian Niemann lead guitar, Rickard Evensand, one of the original members, is on drums, playing on his first record. He's been with us during Fire King also, but because we had a session drummer there, but he joined us shortly after that. Also, we got a new bass player called Justin Biggs, Canadian-Swedish guy. He lives here in Sweden, but he's a Canadian national. And then it's a really cool bunch of guys, excellent musicians. I mean, Ricky is one of Sweden's absolute best heavy metal drummers, and we're very happy to have him back in our stable.
Talking about this lineup, are you guys still working with Johnny Hagel?
Yes, exactly. We have a couple of, Johnny is not the only silent partner here. We have also another guy called Conny Wilén, who is co-producing the album. He's known since the beginning. It's a guy that I've been working with for over 20 years. We've done a lot of albums together, and he's like a vocal producer, co-writer of melodies and lyrics, and he's also there. And Johnny, of course, does contribute with his stuff. He writes songs still, and then a couple of his songs is on the new album too.
And there's the band released an EP, Black, somewhere in November of 2015. Tell us more about this EP, please. And my question, was it necessary to release an EP? I mean, just a couple months after your debut album?
We had so many songs, and we wanted to do something special with the songs that didn't make it on the album. They weren't just like the band is like a democracy, and we vote, and then the songs with the highest scores gets on the album. And we can't have 2 hours of music on an album, so we needed to cut it down. And what we wanted to do was something special with that. And the Black EP is released through Johnny Hagel's label and not through Metal Blade. So we released it ourselves, and it's a rare album or EP on vinyl and CD. We still have a few copies, but it was a very limited edition. So that's really the thing about it. We just didn't want to bury those songs.
Do you believe that's, so far the only work you will be doing with this label? I mean, the one you just said, the Desert Plain Records?
yeah, it was one thing only, perhaps. I don't know if we're going to do maybe go back and reissue the demos somehow, but we're thinking about it and we're working with it. And of course, Metal Blade are interested also. And yeah, there's a discussion going on what we will do in the future about that. But right now we're focused on the new album. So yeah. That's really it.
Anders, 2 years later, after the release of the debut album In Shadows of the Inverted Cross, the band released their second album, The Crown of the Fire King, on October 20, 2017 via Metal Blade Record, with great tunes like Sirens, Ship of Doom, Crimson Cross, and The Devil Incubus. To say some, I don't recall what was the issue. I couldn't get in touch with you to talk about this release, but how was it all gone with this album, The Crown of the Fire King, and what was so different about it compared to In the Shadows of the Inverted Cross, if there was some difference?
Yeah, well, they differ quite a lot, I think, sound-wise. In the Shadow of the Inverted Cross was more true to our old sound. We had like big drums and not that, distorted or compressed sound image. On the Fire King, we felt that we had evolved somewhat in the songwriting, and we wanted to have a more contemporary sound on the album. And Ronny Björnström, who mixed the first one, also mixed the Fire King album, and he has also been with us on this Lamenting of the Innocent album, and he's also a part of the sound, of course. He's a really good listener, and he has the magic touch on the knobs, really. But yeah, we wanted to evolve a little bit out of the, I wouldn't say more like trimmed down sound, but it's more like a trimmed down sound on the first album. And the second album is more compact. I don't know how to put it really, but it's more like a punch in the face on the Viking album. And now when we're going into the Lamenting of the Innocent, we try to pick the good part of those two albums and put it together. So it's going to be big, but also a punch in the face kind of thing.
Okay, please don't reveal too much. We still has a long way to go. Okay, the Swedish Quintet returned with a revamped lineup to that which feature on the Crowning of the Fire King, with outstanding guitarist Kristian Niemann and Peter Hallgren, and vocalist Anders Engberg, joined by bassist Justin Biggs and former drummer Rickard Evensand, both bringing something new and fresh to SORCERER. The band's upcoming album, titled Lamenting of the Innocents, from the Swedish epic doom metal band, follows 2017's Crown of the Fire King and is scheduled to be released in May 29, 2020 via Metal Blade Records. Anders, don't you mind to present us the album tracking list, please?
So the tracking of the new album, The Lamenting of the Innocent, starts with Hammer of Witches. It actually starts with an intro called The Persecution that goes into the first song, The Hammer of Witches. And after that, there's a really doomy song called Lamenting of the Innocent, the title track, followed by a track called Institores. It's a more up-tempo song. After that, we have a real, sorcerer-based doomy track called Where Spirits Die. It's really slow and heavy and melodic. We also have a ballad, actually, without drums or anything, called Deliverance on this album. After that, there is a song called Age of the Damned, more up-tempo song. And after that, there's an epic song called Condemned. And the eighth track called Dance with the Devil is actually a waltz. So it's like, a waltz, but in a darker way, And the last song is called Path of Perdition, which is an awesome song. There's also a couple of new stuff here. We got some growling going on a couple of the tracks, so that is also a spice that we added. And for the ones that buy the box set, there is also a bonus track called Hellfire that is mixed by Mr. Max Norman, the legendary producer with bands such as Ozzy Osbourne and Metallica and whatever, So that's pretty cool. This is, But on the ordinary track, there's 9 track, 10 with the intro, so yeah.
Anders, I want to thank you very much for describing us the album tracking list. Unlike the two first albums, this time the band produced the album themselves, the band are self-confessed hardcore perfectionists who will accept nothing but the absolute best in every aspect of the recording process. The only collaboration involved in the making of Lamenting of the Innocents were Ronnie Bjornstam, who both with mix and master the album, and Connie Wellen, who contributed to the songwriting. They have been with the band for the last 3 albums, and they are key parts of Sorcerer sound by now. My question is, Anders, why the decision in doing the recording in a much different way than the 2 first albums? How has everything gone with the lyrics and the music?
Well, actually, I don't know. I don't understand all that you said, because all the albums has been recorded in the same fashion, which means that all vocals are done in my own studio. I have a vocal studio. All guitars has been made in Kristian and Peter's home studios. The bass has been recorded by Kristian and Peter. The drums on this occasion was recorded in Solna Sound Studios, and to get the real heavy sound of the drum kit. So today, and also looking back at the 2 other albums, we like to work in this fashion. We work a lot in our own, where we live, and we put ideas and tracks up on Dropbox actually. So we are not a rehearsing, jamming band, so to speak. We write the songs, and then after the album is done, actually today we rehearsed for the first time and played some of the songs live for the first time. It's quite special way to work, yeah, but we like it.
Anders, the band stated, since the first started, Sorcerer have been labeled Epic Doom, a tag that fits but does not define them, and has never been more evident than the other third full-length, Lamenting of the Innocent. This time out, the band wanted their song to grow in every direction and not to be limited in what they do. Do you believe that the fans and critics can expect a much higher quality in sound and the music itself on this new release compared to the previous ones?
I think that the first album was true to our origin, and since then we've been moving towards leaving one of our footsteps out of the doom, epic doom kind of genre. We're looking more towards the metal hard rock genre, perhaps. We are very melodic. We are a bit progressive. We are heavy, of course, and the heaviness makes people maybe put us in the doom genre. But I don't know. I mean, if people want to call this epic doom, I'm okay with that. You know, people needs to put a label on music. But if I have the chance to label it, I will say we sound like a Black Sabbath, Rainbow, doom, hard rock, metal band, something like that. I don't know. It's hard being put in a label area, you know. We used it when we promote ourselves like a doom metal band, but there is so much difference in genres. I mean, even Ghost was in the beginning called a doom metal band, but they are not today, you know. It's like,
yeah, that's right.
So we're just writing music, and if people think it's doom, well, okay.
Okay, to go to the second part of this question, how about the quality in sound and music compared to the previous releases?
I think we have a more variated, you know, we try to vary ourselves on this album. We have different tempos, different dynamics. I mean, we have this, one of the songs called Deliverance is just acoustic guitars, some cellos and some strings, but we try to make the album dynamic because I feel that we in earlier albums we tend to cling on to that same sound on every song. And not to say that they are bad, but this time we really focused on giving the album dynamic, from fast to slow to very laid back and thin. I can't explain it any closer than that.
Talking about the track Deliverance also features the album only guest appearance by Johan Lundqvist, a vocalist of Tiamat, and the renewed Swedish cellist Svante Henriksson. Did you have fun working with these great musicians, and what was the reason, you know, on bringing them on board for this particular track?
When we wrote the song, I instantly thought of doing a duet with someone, you know, and then I've known Johan Lundqvist for a good 20, 30 years now. I actually played with his kid brother in my first band, and we rehearsed in the same rehearsal rooms. And he's a good friend of mine. And I asked him, I was at his kid brother's wedding last year, and I asked him if he was interested, and he was. So he came and did his part, and it sounds really, really amazing. So that was someone I looked up to in Candlemass, the big influence on Sorcerer. And when it comes to Svante Henriksson, I mean, he's a fabulous cellist, and he can play anything on that cello, rock, pop, whatever. He's got a nice touch, and he's also been with Yngwie Malmsteen, so I mean, it says it all.
Hey! reborn again with all his might, the fire in his eyes, I've heard it sober
Alongside the announcement of the new album, the band have released on March 19, 2020, a new music video for the first song lifted from the upcoming album titled The Hammer of Witch, directed by Daniel Wallstrom, with heavy groove media actors like Maya Boskowik, Anders Smoot, and Frederick Oleyen, and Nico Hamrin. Anders, could you share with us when and where, was the shots done? And please tell us why would you want to burn such a beautiful witch as Maya Boskowik?
Okay, the thing is that we met up with Daniel pretty early in the process. I got his name from a good friend of mine, a work colleague actually, called Simon Johansson. He's a guitar player in Wolf and Soilwork. He said this guy is really up and coming. He's got great ideas. He's not into like CGIs or whatever. He's more like back to basics and creates a nice atmosphere in the video. So we contacted him. It was meant to be one video only. Daniel is the director of the videos. We only recorded like live performances we were in 3 different sites, one in a basement that we did like 4 songs, one in an old steel mill that we did 4 songs, and one in an old barn where I did the Deliverance video with Johan. The decision to burn a witch was really Daniel's decision, because as I told you before, this album is not a concept album in that perspective that it is a story from first song to last song. But in the videos, there is a story. So the story starts with the Hammer of Witches, and when you see the videos, you know that at some point the witch is going to burn. I'm sorry, but That's just how it is. We're not on the church's side in this. We portray them as the evil ones, and the witches are the good ones. So, yeah.
Very great video. I love it, and I've been seeing it over and over again, and I highly recommend for you out there to see this video, The Hammers of Witch. Please take a look at it. The very new single of this brand new album of Sorcerer. Okay, continue with this interview. Anders, if I'm not wrong, the band will be releasing a new video out for which song, and to when will this be?
We're releasing, I think it's on, if I'm not wrong, on the 19th of April. We're releasing the next single. It's called Dance with the Devil. And the singles are picked because they are very different from each other. So this Dance with the Devil is a waltz, and it's, so it's a dark waltz. So it won't be.
I can't wait to hear it.
So that was, and it also comes with a video. So of course, so yes, that's, so on the 19th, keep your eyes open.
Okay, but tell me, you're gonna have more videos after this?
Yes, we're releasing a third and final single in May, I guess in the middle of May. It will be promoted on the web. I can't tell you any more now because I don't know if I crossed the label or anything.
This will be just a couple days before the album release date?
Exactly. The last kick in the balls before we'll release the album, yes.
And anything else you want to add about videos?
There's a lot of nudity, so you will like that, hopefully. Yeah, we're gonna probably have 18 years old, discretions on YouTube because there is a lot of skin.
Oh, wow.
Also fire and death and blood and all kinds of things. So, yeah, well, it's pretty cool.
Yes, I can't wait to see them. Okay, talking about things that will be going around this release of the band's third effort. I mean, this upcoming album titled Lament of Innocent, which is scheduled to be released on May 29, 2020 via Metal Blade Records, the band's third and last deal with this label, according to what we have spoken 5 years ago, that you have signed for 3 album release. I mean, will there be another album to be released via Metal Blade Records? And what are your experience working with them? And if you don't mind, could you share us the details behind the album cover artwork, please?
So foremost, I would like to say that Metal Blade Records has been fantastic for us. I mean, we are so fortunate to be on a label that believe in what we do, that takes Sorcerer to another level for each album. So I'm so happy with that. And of course, negotiations will start after the third album is out there. New contracts and new stuff. So we're looking forward to that. They're working really hard to promote us, and especially Metal Blade Germany, that the really cool guys. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that and sitting down and talk about the future with them. Regarding the album cover.
Yeah, Anders, before we go further, there's no any need for you, for the band, to talk to other labels besides Metal Blades after the release of this album?
I don't think there's a lot of labels that are interested, but imagine if we would sign with Nuclear Blast, for example, which is very big label. Then we would be one of like several hundreds of artists on that label. And what attention would we get there? I think the way we see it, we stay with this smaller label that are really, really good at what they do, and they are committed to Sorcerer, and nothing is decided yet, but that is how I reason with it. Why be a huge label and be put on, hold somewhere? I don't know.
Yeah, so it's better to stay home.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And how about the album cover artwork? I think it's a fantastic cover artwork.
Yeah, you need to check this guy out. His name is Dusan Markovic. He's a Serbian or Croatian guy, I don't know. I saw some of his artwork done before, and it's mind-blowing. The details are just, you can't believe what you see. So if you enlarge a picture that is done, you can see all the details, all the hair strands and everything. Super, super talented and very, very nicely made. And I contacted him and I asked him if we wanted to do our album cover, and he said yes immediately and put out some ideas for us. But we had to have a talk before we decided on this one. And he drew a fantastic fantastic picture first to us, but it wasn't really an album cover. We need to like frame the album more. And as you've seen, like the Fire King, you know, with this devil, the Fire King himself. And on this album, you got the Catholic priest praying over this vulnerable, beautiful girl that are accused of witchery. You know, that's exactly what we wanted, you know, and to get these contrasts. And some people that seen it say, oh, it looks like Ghost. Yeah, but it's more evil than Ghost. He looks like a devil.
It's an evil priest.
Yeah. All religion, if you ask me, are evil. I'm atheist, so I don't believe in anything more than what I can do myself.
Okay, Anders, looking that the album release date is very close by, less than 2 months from now. And with this COVID-19 issue, are there going to be a release party show?
No, we had one booked on the 27th of May, but as things are right now, I don't think that will happen. There will be, though, news pretty soon coming up. So please, people, get in touch with our Facebook site and have patience, because there is a news coming real soon, hopefully next week already. So about what we will do on our release.
Okay, Anders, as I can see, the band is already scheduled to play at a Sweden Rock Fest to be taking place from June 3rd to June 7th this year, yes, with headlining of Volbeat, Guns N' Roses, In Flames, and with great numbers of awesome bands. Are these festivals still taking place so far? I mean, it's just 2 months away, and let's hope that this nightmare of the COVID-19 ends and we can return back to the festivals. What can you tell us about this year's edition of Sweden Rock Fest?
I mean, for us, it was incredible to get a spot at Sweden Rock Festival, but I'm afraid that this COVID-19 will pretty much put a hold on 2020. I don't think there will be any shows played until earliest October, November or something like that. I think it will be postponed and we will be there playing when it takes off. We already got some canceled shows. Pounding Metal Fest in Madrid got canceled. We got canceled shows in Holland, Little Devil. We're still up for Rock Hard in Germany and some other shows, but as things are now, I think there is, if you're looking at it sober, you'll see that it won't be happening, really. Not until late fall.
Yes, looking that there might be a possibility that let's cross a finger that this won't happen, that all the summer festival will be affected as well as all the festival that has already been affected since, let's say, since March, April, May, and June. Besides this festival in Sweden Rock Fest and all others that has been cancelled, too bad. What else will the band be doing? I mean, at least at the end of the year, in promotion of this great new album.
As I told you, there will come some news about the release party in the week to come. And we're rehearsing for Sweden Rock. We're rehearsing for Rock Hard Festival. So we're rehearsing new songs, like 4 new songs today, and just came out of the rehearsal room practically an hour ago. So we were looking forward to playing live. And this year was the year when we were supposed to take the step to the next level. And we're hoping that this will happen. And if it will happen in October, November, then we will be there. That's just the way we have to deal with it. I don't know. There's no sure and there's no confirmations of anything. So just have to go with it, I guess. But we will keep ourselves busy.
I don't get tired of seeing this, and it happened to all of us. I'm supposed to, right now, instead of talking to you, I'm supposed to be in Norway, preparing for the Inferno Fest this year, and it's cancelled. I'm looking forward to go to Brutal Assault or Wacken too, but I'm not sure if it will take place. So as COVID really
devastating. Yeah,
it's devastating, But yes, continue. I really wish you all the best with all that's the promotion of this album, and all the best with the release of this great new album. And Anders, I want to thank you very much for having made this interview possible, and I want to hand you over the microphone of Metal Messiah Radio for you you to invite all your fans to support the band, to buy the band's earlier albums, and to buy this great new masterpiece, Lamenting of the Innocents, and also to check the band's merchandises. And talking about merchandises, before we leave, I like to ask you one other thing. For all the fans that are anxiously awaiting to buy this long-awaited masterpiece, Lamenting of the Innocents, in how many formats will this album be available?
Too many. No, it's going to be, the formats are DVD and Digibook and jewel case ordinary CD. Digibook is with one bonus track. If you buy the box set, have you seen that? With the necklace and the pin and the beer coasters. That will be also with a DVD of all videos and the Digibook with one bonus track. It's limited to that one. And otherwise we release vinyls, I think 7 different colors.
Wow.
And we release the ordinary CD. It's nothing fancy about that. It's just a CD. But a lot of stuff is coming out. And yeah, this is also something that Metal Blade are really, really good at. So we're very happy.
And my last question, do you already have merch for this new album?
Yes, it's all up in our web shop. It's just go there and buy stuff.
Okay.
You can pre-order the album. We have our own special color in our own web shop that you only can get there. It's like blood red, the album, the vinyl album. It's really cool. You can only get it through our own web shop. The other ones you can order through Metal Blade.
And how about the t-shirt? I see the t-shirt with the band logo on. I mean, wow, it's incredible.
Yeah, we tried to do something with the cover with the evil priest. There's one color print and there's also one black and white print. Text on the back.
Right.
So they look really good.
Okay, Anders, the microphone of Metal Messiah Radio is all yours. If you want to say thanks, whoever you want to thanks.
Okay, thank you everyone who's listened. Keep your eyes open, get the album, and enjoy the music that we created from our hearts out to you. And we'll see you out there, hopefully sooner than later. Cheers.
Okay, like I always say, metal on, bye-bye.
Metal on, bye-bye.
Doom on.